Hey guys, welcome back to SudokuManiacs. So today we are going to present a repeated neighbor Sudoku. Now this is one of the common variants and we had some of our patrons requesting us to create a walkthrough on how to solve a repeated neighbor Sudoku. So, well, you ask, we provide. Well, the rules of the Sudoku are the rules of classic Sudoku apply. Additionally, all cells which are marked in gray will have one of its orthogonal adjacent neighbor digits repeating. What it means is in the four directions top, left, right, and bottom, one digit will be repeating around that marked gray cell. So, for example, if I take this cell, here my options are 4, 5, 6. Here it would be 1, 2, 3. Here XYZ, XYZ. So, what it means is one of these three, or rather one of these two, this cannot repeat here because it would be in the same row, would be repeating. Either these two would be same or these two would be same. And wherever such orthogonal cells are repeating, they have been marked with the gray cell. What it means is the converse rule applies. Wherever there is no gray cell, the digits cannot be repeating orthogonally. Right? Now, it sounds confusing, but it's not. For a moment, let's move to the non-consecutive Sudoku, right? The rule is that no adjacent digit orthogonally, that is, can be consecutive to each other. A slight variation to this puzzle is the consecutive Sudoku, where an author says all digits will be non-consecutive. However, wherever a line is marked between two cells, there we have to make sure the digits are consecutive, right? So a consecutive Sudoku is nothing but a variation of the non-consecutive Sudoku. Similarly, this repeated neighbor Sudoku is nothing but a variation of the untouched Sudoku, which is also known as the anti-king Sudoku. In an untouched Sudoku, if I have a 2 here, I know I cannot have a 2 in any of these three cells, right? But since we have marked this as gray, what I'm saying is this is a gray cell, so the neighbor has to repeat. So I can have a 2 in one of these two cells. I just use the comparative analogy with the consecutive and the non-consecutive. So similarly, repeated neighbors is nothing but a variation of the untouched Sudoku, right? And the mandatory. I hope you guys have subscribed to the channel, right? Because it's getting interesting now where as and when you are moving to uncommon variants. So you don't want to miss out on any of the videos. So make sure the bell icon is ringed if once and you have subscribed to the channel. And also I will be adding the link to this puzzle in the description of the video so that you can try it for yourselves. And as a bonus, I created another repeated neighbors Sudoku for your practice. So that second puzzle also would be linked in the description. The puzzle that we are going to solve today was created by Prasanna Seshadri for one of the Sudoku Mahabharat rounds at Logic Masters India website way back in 2015 if I'm not mistaken. So this was a very aesthetically beautiful and a nice puzzle which really used the constraints of an untouched or the anti-king Sudoku. So we are going to solve this together and then I will be, as I said, both the links would be there in the description. So you can try out both the puzzles and you can always refer back to the video if you get stuck somewhere. Alright, so let's begin. The first thing, how do I do my markings? Now, when I'm solving these kind of variants, I create markings between the orthogonally adjacent cells where the repetition would be possible. Now, one thing you should always remember is these repetitions will always be along the black borders, because a digit can repeat only if it is in two different boxes, right? So let's take this gray cell for example. It has four neighbors, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? But three of them are in box 8 and only one is in box 9. So the box 9 digit has to repeat. Now it can repeat in row 9 column 6 or row 7 column 6. How do we determine where it would repeat? It will not repeat in row 9 column 6 because if these two were the same digit, then row 9 column 7 also would have to be marked gray, which is not the case. So the converse rule applies here. So what I normally do is I draw a line saying that these two digits are the same. Similarly for this gray, the digit cannot repeat here, it would have to repeat here. So these two are the same. And for the gray cell at row 7 column 6, either these two can be same, but that is not possible because that would make row 8 column 7 as gray. So it cannot be these two. It can be these two, or it can be row 7 column 5, row 6 column 6. But again, these two options are not possible because this is not a gray cell. So I know for sure this is the layout. And since all the designs are the same, I know for sure these would be the, sorry, repeating cells. Alright, now we have marked. Now, how do we proceed? Shall we put on the pencil markings first, just to be on the safe side? Okay, this column has 139, 139, 139. This is a 456, 456, 456, 235, 235, 235, and this would be 2, 4, and 2, 8, and 9. 2, 2, 8, 9. Good enough. Now, let's have a look at this 4. Right? 4 cannot be here. It has to be in one of these two, right? But if this was a 4, it has to repeat here, which is just not possible. So I know for sure the 4 will be here, and this becomes my 589, 589, 589. This 589 has to repeat here, so this is a 589, this is a 589, this becomes a 589. But the 9 of box 6 is logged in column 9, so this cannot be a 9, and simultaneously that becomes 5 and 8. So the 9 is logged in column 7, right? Which means the 9 cannot be in these two, it has to be in these two, correct? But the same way that we eliminate the 4, if this is a 9, row 6 column 7 also would have to be a 9, which is not possible. So I know for sure this becomes my 9. So this is a 27, 27, 237, 237. Good. Same way we use the edge numbers. 5 cannot be here. It cannot be here because that would make this a 5. So I know this is a 5, which makes this a 1, 2. This is a 1, 2. 2 is locked here, correct? So this has to be a 1. This becomes a 2, 3, 2, 3, and this becomes a 2, 3 pair again, right? So we can eliminate the 2 from here. You guys following me? Good. So we know this is a 2, 3, this is a 5, 8, 9, and by classic rules, 7, 7, this becomes a 7. And what were the missing numbers here? 2, 4, 6, 9. Okay, the 2 is locked here, so 2 is not in this. 2 has to be part of these two, but again, the 2 cannot be here, so this cannot be a 2, and so this becomes a 2. So this is a 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 9, 4, 6, 9, 4, 6, 9. And by classic rules, 8, 8, 8. I really love the layout of this grid and how the solving opens up, slowly once you start marking out the pencil marks. Again, you have a 5 and a 5. It cannot be in the gray cell, so this has to be a 5. a 4 and a 4, and 4 is not part of the gray cell, so we get a 4 here again. Alright? Good? Now, what next? Now, I see that I have a 139, 58, 589, 23, 235, and a 1. The missing numbers in the row are 4, 6, and a 7. Right? And there are only 3 places left in the row, which basically means the 4, 6, and 7 will have to be in these cells. So with a 4 here, I can have a 6 or a 7. Correct? But if this was a 6, it would be neighboring with this 6, and these two would have had to be gray. And since they are not gray, I cannot have the 6 here, so this has to be a 7. I get a 4, 6 and a 4, 6. Just like the 6, I can't have a 4 here, because then that would be adjacent 4s, but there's no gray cell marked here. So that's a 6 and that's a 4. And with 4 and 5, this becomes a 6 and that's a pair of 4, 5. Alright? Now what next? So this was again a 237. Right? This was a 237, 237. But we have a 2 here, so sorry. This would be, so the 2 is locked in this, which locks the 2 in these two. Right? Because this number has to be here and this one will be repeating in row 6, column 6. So I can safely remove the 2. And with this 1 here, I can remove the 1. Now, in box 6, where can the 8 be? 1 is here, this is the other possibility, right? Because 8 cannot be in the central row, this is not possible. Oh, we got a 7. So let's wrap this up. 2 is taken care of. So we get a 3, 7 pair here. Alright? So now 8 cannot be here, it cannot be here. So there were only 2 places. But again, if this was an 8, it would become orthogonally repeating number, right? So which would make this a gray, but that's not possible. So I can safely eliminate the 8 from here. That is my 8, 8. So the 8s are out, 5, 9. And with the 5 here, that's a 9, that's a 5. So the 9 has to be there, and this becomes my 5. And with 5 gone, I can eliminate the 5, which gives me a pair of 2 and 3, and I get a 9 here. So again, I get a pair of 1, 3, and this would be 5, 6, and a 5, 6. Alright? But by classic rules, 8, 8, 8 can't be here or here. So this is my 8. Right? So let's eliminate the 8 from here. And this 1 is now locked in row 5. So this cannot be a 1. That becomes a 3. And this is my 1. So let's eliminate the 3 as well. Good so far? Now comes a tricky part. Let's have a look at this. What can be here? I can't have a 1 because if this was a 1, this would have to be gray, right? I can have a 2. I cannot have a 3 because 3 and 7 are locked here. I can't have a 4, 5, 6, 7, and this becomes a 2, 8. Alright? So when I look, this was a 5, sorry. So this becomes a 4 and a 5. We wrap this up as well. So this was a 9. So this becomes a 2, 8. So again, I get a pair of 2, 8. And the remaining numbers are 1, 6, 1, 6 for the column. But with the 6 here, obviously I cannot use the 6 because this is not a gray cell. So that has my 1, and that's my 6. Alright? So Where would the 1 come now in these two? This is a 1. This cannot be a 1 because this row 5 column 3 is not a gray cell, right? Otherwise we would require a repeating number. So this is my 1. This becomes a 1. This again is a 2 3 because of the 8. So this is a 2 3. This is a 2 3. This becomes my 8. This becomes a 2. So this is my 9 and this is my 8. So 2 is not here. The remaining numbers in column 5 are 2 and 3. So this has to be a 3. This is a 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So that's a 3, that's a 5, and that's my 2. So we have wrapped that up. The 6 is out. And because of this 3, this is a 7, this is a 7, that's a 3, and that's a 3 again. 4 and 6 are gone, so this has to be a 9, which makes this a 9. That's my 4, 4, and the last 7 with a 9 here. That becomes a 7. So this is a 6, this is a 6, and the last digit of 4. I mean, this was such a wonderful puzzle. The way it used the constraints of the untouched Sudoku. I hope you guys enjoyed this and it was some learning for you. Always remember to mark out the cells which will be sharing the same number. It makes your solving so much easier. Normally when we are on paper, we just draw a small line diagonally across the two cells. But thankfully I had this feature there online, so I thought I'll show you how we use that. If you did enjoy the video, I suggest you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. And don't forget to attempt this as well as the other bonus puzzle that I have put in the description. You will enjoy solving them because Prasanna also tested out the puzzle that I created last night and he really found it to be an awesome puzzle. So hopefully you will find it the same. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments and your solving times as well. You can try this puzzle first and then the other one and just compare how you fare. I know no two puzzles are the same, so it's difficult to compare, but at least it will give you an idea whether you're able to visualize and identify the cells where the repetition would take place. So I look forward to hearing from you guys, and till the next time, happy solving!